Good evening. Coming up in Mello TV Evening News, business process outsourcing company opened in St. Catherine. Supreme Court dismisses multi-million-dollar claim. Chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation calls for insurance coverage for market vendors. And Tourism Minister heads to the United States to quell travel concerns. And now the news in detail. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Aubin Hill, has welcomed the opening of a new Sagility business process outsourcing BPO facility in Angel, St. Catherine. The new site will employ over 1,200 individuals, adding to the existing 3,600 personnel across Sagility's 4 centers in Kingston. With a focus on healthcare sector, this facility will cater to Sagility's major client, Humana. Minister Hill, in his remarks, said Jamaica's global services continues to grow.
Just last week, I had the pleasure of participating in the site opening of another outsourcing company. This is one of our biggest exports, the skills of Jamaica. Now, I heard Vicky said, look, we have great expectations. Well, Vicky, don't worry. All you have to do is ask the American competitors of Usain Bolt how we perform against high expectations.
In his commendation of the sector, Minister Hill emphasized his commitment to boosting Jamaican export.
Export of services aligns with my consistent drive for Jamaica to focus on export. There's a reason I'm not going to tell you, all my American friends, the great details. But when I came in the ministry just over a year ago, I looked at our trade balance. And for many decades, we have not performed as we should. We have now corrected our debt to GDP situation. It's much better than it was in 2013 when it was 147%. We expect at the end of this year, it will be 77% and much better than before the pandemic.
Jamaica's BPO sector currently employs over 60,000 individuals, generating close to $1 billion in annual revenue. Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, Darrell Voss, says the government has major plans for the transportation sector with significant focus on road safety. Mr. Voss shared the plans on Tuesday while addressing attendees at the Grenell Driving School Defensive Driving Workshop and Road Safety Expo.
My fellow Jamaicans, we're improving our road safety architecture to ensure that by 2030, Jamaica will become the road safety capital of the Caribbean and the Latin American region. We endeavor to improve our road safety systems in accordance with the United Nations Safe System approach by 2030. When the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals will end. We are fully committed to reducing our road fatalities in half by then by ensuring the relevant measures are thoroughly implemented.
Mr. Voss also noted that his ministry is doing the necessary work as it pertains to motor vehicles.
This includes manufacturing of safer vehicles that give our people the same level of safety that is afforded to the population of the more developed countries. Technology is changing rapidly. Therefore, we will dialogue with the necessary stakeholders to ensure that our motor vehicles are safe and resilient. It is unacceptable that 90% of the global road deaths are occurring in developing countries. We are working to ensure that motor vehicles in the near future are equipped with side impact airbags, electronic stability controls, crumple zones, seat belts, roof strength, anti-lock braking systems, and event data recorders, better known as black boxes. We're in full support of the United Nations Safe System approach, and while we know that it is an arduous task for the developing countries, Jamaica will work tirelessly to ensure that our road safety operations are in accordance with the Safe Systems approach.
Minister Vaz explained the effects of speeding in crash outcomes and urged persons to keep loved ones in mind when driving, citing a number of fatal accidents among relatives. Minister Vaz says the ministry will be intensifying its efforts to stem traffic crashes using both educational and enforcement measures. He also extended commendations to the stakeholders within the industry and called upon more members of the private sector to join the mission of road safety. June is observed as Road Safety Awareness Month. In a recent ruling, the Supreme Court dismissed information technology firm Geotech Vision's claim against state-owned e-learning Jamaica. Geotech had demanded over $100 million for the termination of a contract to supply tablets to schools. However, the court found that Geotech failed to deliver the tablets and meet the contract requirements. As a result, e-learning won a counterclaim of $155,640 Jamaican dollars with interest. Geotech is also responsible for covering legal costs. The contract, valued at $16 million was terminated in October 2019 due to missed deadlines and subpar tablet quality. The judgment highlighted that only 1,100 tablets had arrived in Jamaica by July 2019, despite the order for 19,305 tablets. E-learning's counterclaim covered legal expenses and costs related to re-advertising the contract. Chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, Norman Scott, is emphasizing the importance of insurance for market vendors in light of recent fires in the parish. A suspected arson incident on June 1 resulted in the destruction of 20 stalls at the Linston Market. During the corporation's monthly meeting, it was revealed that only one vendor affected by the fire was registered and would receive assistance of $30,000. Mr. Scott stated that the corporation will engage with the Ministry of Social Security to seek further aid for the remaining 19 vendors. While acknowledging the vendors' resilience, Mr. Scott emphasized the need for proper insurance arrangements to help them recover from such incidents. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett will travel to the United States of America to address concerns raised by recent travel advisory issued by the U.S. State Department. Minister Bartlett and his team aim to reassure American travelers that Jamaica remains a safe destination. With the U.S. being Jamaica's largest tourism market, Mr. Bartlett emphasized the importance of reinforcing the sector's resilience and meeting with key stakeholders. His itinerary includes participating in Caribbean Week in New York City, engaging with cruise industry players in Miami, and holding meetings with major travel companies in Atlanta. Minister Bartlett says the aim is to maximize the impact of these visits and sustain tourism contribution to the Jamaican economy. Following a joint police-military raid at the Kahal Yahweh Church in Montego Bay, St. James, approximately 20 children and accompanying adults were rescued from the compound. The operation involved multiple government agencies, including the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, the CPFSA, the St. James Fire Department, and the Ministry of Education and Youth. Troubling reports suggest that some of the children may have been coerced into intimate relationships disguised as underage marriages by individuals lacking proper authority. These children, living in an unfavorable communal environment alongside adults, allegedly faced a lack of formal education, insufficient immunization, and inhumane disciplinary practice. The children were processed by the CPFSA personnel at the family court in Montego Bay and are expected to appear in court. The operation was initiated based on allegations of violations of the Child Care and Protection Act at the church. And those are the stories making the news this evening. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News. I'm Nicole Hales. Stay safe and thanks for watching.